Going? This is Unsi. I'll reach out.
Hello, good. I thought it might be you, but I wanted to go with the formal introduction anyway. How are you doing?
I'm good, trying to stay busy and productive. How about you?
Yeah, that's not really a problem here. A lot of businesses, are having a hard time, but going through all the federal funding loans, and everyone's got questions. So that on top of taxes, it's keeping me pretty busy. But I'm assuming that you're pretty busy as well with trying to pull together this company quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And it just so happened to be, this this current situation with the economy. So it actually pushed me back just over a couple of weeks, but nonetheless, I do have majority of the candidates that has given me a soft yes, and it will be ready to you know solidify on the 21st. So I'm happy with that. But I just want to get straight to the point, just because I know you're so busy. I don't want to take much of your time, but I just want to give you a bit more overview or insight as to what we're doing. But first and foremost, I just want to say, out the window, out the gate, I there's a lot of experience that I don't possess. I don't have finance experience. I don't have legal. I don't have M&A experience. But I do have what I do have is I do have real estate experience. I have 5 years in commercial real estate, and I do have marketing and advertising. I'm certified in Google AdWords, Facebook advertising, and IG. With that being said, that is not really relevant to this industry right now. But it's for that reason why I'm reaching out to individuals like yourself to be able to basically guide me along this journey, just because of the what I mentioned previously, experiences that I lacked. So I'm looking for individuals to cover my weaknesses, so to speak, and I want to have individuals with vast experience in diverse industries, if you will, to be able to look at the deals that's going to be coming our way pragmatically and from a wise standpoint. Basically, individuals like yourself is going to be able to give me, we'll be able to look at things from a 100,000 foot perspective. Now, with that being said, I'm assuming that you got a chance to look at our executive consortium and pitch deck.
Yes, I did the other day, yes.
Okay. Okay, so we're looking to consolidate in the medical device industry, but I'm sure you want to know why, and I'm just going to go over it briefly. The reason why is because healthcare, which it's part of the overall, it's part of the healthcare industry. It reacts differently, and candidly, I reached out to over 1,000 business owners last week. Spoke to over 500 of them, just over 500, and what I'm seeing is that they aren't worried about the uncertainty in the economy. So the medical device industry tends to react differently. It sort of lags during times of economic depression, sort of this one right now. That is why that's why we're pursuing, for one, why we're excited about it. Not only that, the targets that we're going after, the target markets, which, if you could see, we're going after cardiovascular, orthopedics, as well as MRI imaging. But there are a total of 10 markets that we are interested in, including endoscopy, surgical robotics, diabetic care as well. Now, with that being said, we are focused on the top 10 states that we've seen the most activity as it pertains to mergers. Now, the info is coming from IBIS. I'm not sure if you're aware of that website, but according to Johnson & Johnson, Abbott Laboratories, Boston Scientific, Telefax, there has been a lot of volatility as it pertains to mergers and acquisitions. So that's why we want to get in those states. And those states are California, because it's the largest. It has the most amount of small medical device companies there. Massachusetts, now that states, it has the most qualified individuals to work in the medical device industry. And as well, we want to focus on Florida for obvious reasons, but it's another hub of small medical device companies, but it's also our background. So we want to actually focus our initial acquisition in Florida. I do have 15 target acquisitions that I've gotten in touch with, along with eight other ones that they will be willing to sell in approximately 90 days. So we do have target acquisition we will be looking to pursue once the board is finalized. Now, as it pertains to financing, we have not
Yes.
raised funds yet. However,
Yes.
I do have a business partner. Myself, I'm only looking to retain 65% of the company overall. The rest I'm looking to give away. But we have not raised funding yet. I will be in communication next week with two individuals that introduced me to. One specifically is the manager of a $2 billion fund that is earmarked for biotech companies and medical device companies, such as the ones we'll be going after. They are willing to speak to me and partner with us as far as it pertains to funding. We have guidelines as far as the deals that we're going after, just to make sure that we're going after hot deals. The deals that we're going after, we want to make sure it's minimum 175% DSCR, that the free cash flow covers the debt of the business 1.75%, almost two times. That's what we're looking for, because we know banks, they won't entertain anything less than 125%. Given that if it has a good track record, stuff like that, we want to make sure that it's 500,000 to 2 million in EBITDA or cash flow. We're also looking at companies between 1.5 to 4 times earnings. That's the price range we want to stay in between. Retiring owner, preferably. SBA approved as well. Also, we do have, along with the CFO, his name is Vincent. He will be able to help us procure financing that we need, from private institutions. We are aware that the IMF does give out non-recourse loans, so we will leverage that as well. So as it pertains to financing, we have no issue when it comes to raising the financing for the deal. As long as the deal is hot, we believe we can procure financing. Management, just to give you an idea of who's on board right now, or who's giving me a soft yes, but will be ready the 21st. Chairman, his name, he is the director at Funny, the CFO. He has over 20 years experience in finance. I believe he's worked at a Big Four. We're looking at our in-house accountant. His name is Side. He's also a CPA. Our M&A attorney, his name is Mike. He has his own firm, and he also has over, I believe, 15 years experience in M&A transaction attorney side. We also have 3 industry experts, but we have 2 right now. We have Carlos, and we also have David. Carlos is a physician. He owns a practice. He advises other physicians and doctors, as well as David. He's an MD, and we're looking to bring a manufacturer compliance director on board. But that is the team. That is what it consists of as of right now. But you are the individual that I felt was the most qualified, and I just wanted to reach out to see if you were, willing to work with us. And with all that said, what are your initial takeaways?
Well, I guess, and who did you say the chairman was again? Yes.
Saul,
And you said he has a lot of experience with mergers and acquisitions.
yes, he's done over 500 transactions, totaling over $1 billion. Yes, total, buy and sell side.
Okay. And then as far as, I guess, my role, then, I mean, previously, I know you'd mentioned, I guess in your email, you'd mentioned in-house accountant, but then it seems like you do have someone designated for the CFO role and an in-house accountant as far as a soft yes. So would I just be another financial advisor on the board, or is there...
No, we're actually looking for the individual I mentioned, Side, as the in-house accountant. He gave us a soft yes, which I have 6 other soft yeses for each individual. I reached out to about 1,500 individuals, and I just narrowed it down to who wanted to work with me, and I would pick who I felt was the most excited to work with me and most qualified.
Yes. Okay. Well, yes, I think, I guess you read a little bit about my background, but I do have 14 years of experience with a Big Four firm before starting my own firm, and previously I worked for another small firm before. So I have over 20 years of experience myself in accounting and public accounting specifically, and a couple years in private industry, including a couple years with Kaiser Permanente, which is a healthcare organization. But I primarily focused on, in the insurance industry was a lot of my focus, and I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers was this big four CPA firm I worked for, but some of my clients were Swiss Re International and Zurich International, and I have 2 years of international experience as well, where I went to Switzerland and worked on those two companies, which I'm not sure if you've heard of them or not, but they're two very large, successful companies in the insurance industry. But so I haven't really worked specifically. I really don't work specifically with any medical device companies, but I do have experience in insurance and healthcare, as well as assurance, audit experience, and tax experience. So I do have a lot of experience, and it sounds like, I guess I'm glad that you kind of admit up front that you don't have all the background experience, but it seems like that you are definitely moving in the right track, and if you pull together the right board, then I think this thing has a chance. So I'm willing to be a part of it if you'd like me to join. And I guess I know it's going to be more of a commitment up front. Do you have any idea about how many hours, how many meetings are going to be involved, and if we're going to have like video conference to start with? That's kind of another concern of mine is, initially with this going on, I don't want to be stuck in a room with a lot of people, but if we're going to have video conferencing to start with or something like that, then that would work. But I don't know what your ideas were, how many scheduled board meetings you have planned, what the initial commitment is. I know there's going to be more time involved whenever you pinpoint an acquisition and getting the company started, but I don't know if you have any idea as far as expected hours as far as commitment or board meetings that you have tentatively scheduled.
Yes, as of now, we have not formed yet. We will form the day prior to closing on our initial acquisition, so we'll actually get everything ready for incorporating the company. But as far as right now, we're not obligated to have any board meetings, which is great. We can operate as a corporation, without actually being a corporation. So that's great. As far as time commitment, I don't need a lot of time from you guys right now. An hour or two a week max right now. But as we do ramp up, as we do gain traction, we close our initial acquisition, the commitment will be greater. Not that much greater, but right now, just an hour, maybe 2 hours a week max, just because I'll be using you guys more so for guidance, right? After the board is finalized, I am looking to bring on a Big Four accounting firm to do our audit or due diligence, just because I know you guys won't be able to do our audit and due diligence. It's a conflict of interest. So I'm seeking a outside accounting firm, preferably a Big Four, just to give us that strength when negotiating. But all that, I'm looking to take that workload off you guys. Candidly, I'm gonna be putting in 110 hours a week to make sure we succeed, because I believe in this wholeheartedly, and I know we're going to be a success. But right now, I'm not asking for much, just because I know you guys have other things that you guys are dealing with in your personal lives and endeavors as well. So, yeah, it's not a large commitment up front right now.
Okay, and as far as like you said, we're not required to have board meetings, but I'm assuming that we're going to get together as a board and have a board meeting at some point. Are you going to be working with us more individually to get started, or have us on a board meeting, and are those going to be virtual to start?
It's going to be individually right now, but as we progress, it'll be. And right now, it's looking like it'll be more so a Zoom video conference as far as meeting. But you'll have ample time, to get ready as far as notice. I'm trying to accommodate you guys as much as possible. But yeah, everything we will have a system for it as we move forward.
Okay. And then as far as I know you said like initially the equity percentage that you'd be allocating out would be based on. I think initially you might offer a certain percentage, but then I don't know if you want to, or if you're going to reserve some of it for time involved too. Like if some directors spend a lot more time than other directors, I don't know if that's a consideration, or if you have an idea of how much allocation you're going to give to the different directors.
Yeah, definitely, I do. I actually have had a discussion with the chairman about that earlier. I'm looking to give I'm looking to give you specifically 2%. Now, before you say anything, yes or no, I know that 2% is absolutely nothing right now because we're an ideas company. But
Right.
I plan on building $1 billion a year revenue company. I have a full business plan. I'm not sure I shared that with you. Did I send you our complete business plan? I'm not sure if I did, but I can share that with you. It just have our financial projection for the 5 years of operation, which the 5th year we assumptions of course, but it shows that we will have 576 million under management as far as assets, and we will be we'll be poised to hit that $1 billion mark, which we want to go public through an IPO 2027 or 2030. But if a big our bigger competitor decides to buy us out, we would consider that as a exit strategy for our shareholders. But another thing I do want to mention as well, as far as monetary compensation during the acquisition. Well, as we close on our acquisition, the initial acquisition, we're looking to overfinance about 10%, just because we want to. My plan is to use that for capital expenditures and to distribute, amongst board members such as yourself.
Okay. Yes, I'm willing to. I guess I'm willing to assist you and go on this venture with you. I guess as far as your initial thoughts on time commitment, as far as I know this is all new.
Mm-hmm.
Were you initially thinking like the term? Do you have a term in mind as far as the number of years we would be committing to? 2-3 years as far as the initial commitment. As far as typically boards have terms. Like, do you have an initial idea of how long you'd like the commitment to be?
Yeah, the chairman. That's another thing we discussed earlier. He was saying along the line of 3 to 5 years, just because we want to have room to grow to actually gain traction, and 5 years would allow us to gain the traction we need to position ourselves for an IPO. Which he's looking around 7 years. We can definitely do an IPO, which I'm on board with that as well. But he's thinking initially 5 years. It's not finalized yet, and of course, all this we will have documents, for you guys to solidifying this. Everything will be in writing, but that's what he's leaning towards right now.
Okay, that sounds fine with me.
Perfect.
I do have experience with companies going public, of course, as well,
Oh,
and
perfect.
helping them through that process.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
a lot of my experience was on the audit side more than the tax side
Mm-hmm.
during the 14 years with PwC. Now I focus more on tax than audit, but and we are also responsible for tax as part of the audit. So,
But
I think, but as far as the IPO, then I have the experience from both sides, but more so from the audit side, which is more valuable.
yeah, definitely. And like I said, I looked at every candidate's summary quite extensively just to make sure I picked the right one, and you were definitely top up there. So I appreciate you reaching back out to me. I really believe we're going to be a success. With that said, is there any other question that you like to ask me? Because I'm going to be transparent right now. You're the one you're the one I want as my in-house accountant. So, with that said, are you giving me a yes?
Yes, I mean I would like you to send me the business plan, but yes, I think I can tell where you're going with it from here, and I think if you get the right people together and funding, then it will be successful. So I think you're on the right track by doing that. So
Okay, definitely
yeah.
appreciate it. So, Hey, welcome on board. I will forward you the business plan, and I will also forward you the information of the others, so you could do your own due diligence as well. And I will follow up with you. Let me follow up with you Monday, if that's okay, as far as your schedule, because our deadline is the 21st, and I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page and let them know that everybody is finalized. Because my my deadline for our first acquisition, it's October 6th. That is our deadline. So I'm not, we don't plan on sitting around once we're finalized. We're actually, we're going to let the rubber meet the road,
That's what you have to do.
Of course, of course.
So definitely, that would be fine. You're gonna reach back out Monday, and we'll schedule a follow-up time.
Perfect,
Is that what you're indicating? Okay.
perfect. Appreciate the call and appreciate the time.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Yancy, and I look forward to working with you.
You too. Bye bye.